He was actually he was actually like a vertebrate exterminator on the East Coast for a long time in a previous career. So
Rats.
he's been in the
Vertebrate exterminator.
Boy, you know, that covers a
Yeah.
lot of creatures
Sounds like,
right there.
sounds like MS-13 or something.
yeah. But he's been on the private sector side of it and everything too, which is always good. Yeah, it was nice. And then we went out to a field on a private landowner let us use for the demonstrations. I had some prairie dogs out there. Did some of that. So that's basically what I got. If you guys want to look through my
Sure.
plans, like I said, I'm still working on a horticulture / community vitality one that is going to be much shorter. And then I'm going to try to actually put them all on a calendar and jam them together, and then I can start, booking speakers and
Okay.
planning documents. And I think like before this, like what I'm trying to do for this training on the 27th, anybody that shows up, if they can sign in and they want more info on other trainings in the future, they just put down either their address or their email. That way-
You'll notify them.
Yep. And then I'll just notify them through there, and it's a pretty organic and easy way to build up an email list for some advertising. Cause like I put stuff around town, I put stuff on Facebook, but if it's going right to somebody's house or somebody's email, it, a little more right in your face, and they'll know about it, won't forget about it, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, good educational opportunities.
Yeah, and like I said, for the 4-H side of things, I mean, that's, not all the dates are perfectly correct, so don't go off that. I was just starting to lay it out, and then I was actually doing the 4-H one this morning, so,
Okay.
but I didn't have enough time to really get everything
Give it a lot of
correct. But I do want to put,
Day late, $1 short.
I do want to put more stuff in there as far as, educational stuff for or educational, whatever you want to say, programming for the kids in different projects and different areas of 4-H. So if you have any ideas for those and some good time slots for them, just go through, edit it, slot them in there, things like that.
Got room, huh?
You get some time, and I can, if you want to bring them back next week, we'll talk to you, that'd be great.
Okay. We're each required to have 3 recommendations.
At least, yep. And I want reasons too.
All right. Is there a word requirement? How many words per?
No, arbitrary length requirements don't do anything good.
Too much reliance on that might mean that there will be a salary decrease on that end.
Just a little hint there, just a little.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well, excellent.
Thank you.
Keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
Very good. Appreciate your patience.
No problem. See you guys.
Yeah, take care.
I gotta use the restroom real quick.
Did you have something?
I got a question for you.
Oh,
The 13 acres that you were just telling me about,
yeah,
is it right at the corner of Valacroy Road?
yeah,
Is that where it starts?
yeah.
How much of that do you want to give us?
Well, how much you need?
We'll take it all and we'll take care of it.
Well,
But if you ever needed to use it for something, obviously, we're a nonprofit. You're the county commissioners, and the county wants to use it, then you go ahead and you use it. I mean, the rest of the land that's there, all's we're looking for right now is an area to be able to build a building, have enough parking. We're actually bringing in the district conference in the fall here. And we have very, very few opportunities to hold a convention here.
right,
So if we have the ability to have a lot of the the state officers in the American Legion, the VFW, or the Marine Corps League come in to hold a convention or a conference, and there's 3 of those a year, district conferences, and there's one main convention, department convention, state convention, that's held every year. And they're pretty good size,
not bad.
and it would bring a lot of revenue into not just the city, but the county itself.
Well, that's the property down there. Now, as for a parking lot, you can have a parking lot in the floodplain.
I already looked at it.
You looked at it.
Yes, sir, I did. And that's why I'm asking, how much would the county be willing to donate, if you wanna donate it, or if you're gonna sell it, how much do we have to come up with to buy it?
We'll discuss all that.
I'll write it down.
That's why I'm sitting here asking the question of exactly what I was looking at. I wanna make sure.
Yeah,
Then I have to go see that guy down on the end there
yeah.
and make sure he's got enough patrolmen to protect the building and.
He does.
Look at that.
He does.
And we'll talk about
Well,
it.
they will have to discuss it and we'll let you know.
Yeah,
I have
but
some
we got
questions on
it's
it.
his time.
They have,
No, I
yeah,
know, oh, no,
Yeah,
I
and they-
just came in to ask.
yeah, and they have to,
Excellent. You'll see
they have to
where
look
you're
at the
going to.
property actually, yeah, your next one's here too, your next meeting's here too, after Sean, so.
I was gonna wait.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I didn't care.
well, they're just gonna keep coming,
Let me one, now granted,
yeah.
both of those individuals have
You might get educated
significant.
I don't know if I wanna get any more educated than I already am this week.
on how to manage meetings. Don't get an education.
Oh,
Okay, Sean,
All right, you're up, sir.
Hi. Good morning. We had two candidates apply for the communication officer job, and we hired one of them. She will be a returning communications officer. It's Cody Basco, Cody Dimick. So, it's it's gonna solve many problems for me. She'll be a plug and play. She'll have to do probably 4 days of FTO and just familiarize her with the, we'll be
she hasn't been
bringing,
gone that long,
she hasn't been gone that long.
no.
We're gonna bring her now, and I've checked with the county attorney on this, we can bring her back at her wage that she was at,
Okay.
but because of her experience. But she is low man on the totem pole, so she has no seniority. It reset her clock for vacation and everything, so.
Okay.
Because after 10 years, you get more vacation, well, her 10 years start next Wednesday.
How much time did she have before that?
5 years, 6 years, 5 or 6 years, a while.
Yeah.
A while, so, well, even maybe a little bit
Did
more
she-
than that,
did she
she was
do
hired
those-
before I was sheriff. Yeah, she was there,
12 years ago.
no, I've been
Third
sheriff,
term.
nope, second term,
Okay.
second.
Oh,
So that's,
Like Tom.
I know it seems like a lot longer, but it isn't. So that's where we're at, so what that facilitates is then Don Randall, will be our court compliance officer. And I've kind of given her a blank page. She is looking at stuff, what she's going to do. She's going to talk to Charlie, but we're gonna have UAs, patches, ankle bracelet monitors, classes that she'll teach, she'll supervise it. At some point, I really want to explore and look into misdemeanor probation. At this point, there is no misdemeanor probation, but for certain offenses, DUIs, those type of things, I think there needs to be a misdemeanor probation. We need to hold people accountable, and and a misdemeanor probation kind of does keep your finger on them for a little bit, and then hopefully changes their behaviors, so. We talked, at LAPC about buying for the side-by-side that Justin got, buying a apparatus that goes on it that will work for the Stryker, gurneys that Ron has, or for a Stokes litter, it's the same thing. And the reason for that is we're talking about the ride, we did have, last year we had the emergency at the ride, where we had to get somebody out, and it went remarkably smooth. I think a lot of people didn't even realize what we had done, but,
I didn't even know there was an emergency.
I was there.
there was,
Yeah.
Didn't you see the ambulance back in
Where?
at the stage?
Oh, no, I wasn't there.
Believe.
Sorry. No.
That's
Well,
probably
that's probably why I
why
didn't see that.
But
Yeah,
I didn't hear about it either.
yeah, we had a woman who had a seizure during the
Oh,
concert, and we were in and out, just lickety split, and it was clean, it was really nice. But, given different circumstances, maybe a side-by-side with the striker gurney on it might be the best. And especially since Ron's talking about maybe staging some gurneys around, that the striker could just, then the side-by-side could just go to whatever position and take it straight to the ambulance, be quick and clean. So, that's $3,600.
I thought they already had that though.
They did, and we talked about that, was that I thought they were getting it too. They have not got it ordered yet because they said that it kind of went up in the air.
Okay,
So,
all right.
I have the money to buy it.
Not anymore, didn't you hear?
We got dog going on here too, huh?
Did you get that email?
No, I didn't get that email, so I do have the money to buy it. I think it's worthy. I don't know, I'll talk to Justin, see if he'll kick back me some of it, but, or maybe we can go halvesies on it or something. I don't know what his budget looks like. I definitely have enough money in my budget to do it. Although, I don't know if
If you're
anybody
gonna wanna
looked.
get him to kick in halvesies, you're gonna wanna say, I barely have enough money in my budget.
Yeah,
This is why he's good.
yeah. I
sets the
don't,
tone.
I just, so, but, the only thing, of course, with my budget, so you know, is, because the numbers, when are we gonna do those numbers?
Okay,
Those numbers
we
make-
got it set up to do it before the end of the year.
Okay, cause they, makes me really nervous when I don't have any money left to pay my employees.
that bothers you.
You'll be all right, you'll be all right.
I know I'll be alright, but right now,
We're gonna do it, we're gonna do a budget amendment at the end of the year, and then we're gonna move the excess at the end of the year.
when they print it off, right, and they print it off, and I don't have enough to pay my employees because those numbers are wrong.
You didn't show it to him.
You guys are working for free until July 1. Thanks.
Thank you.
No, they fixed everything, those are right, those are the right.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, but we decided that it's best to do it once at the end of the year, you know,
Okay.
what everything is and all
Just
that.
do it at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Before the end.
When are we gonna
Before
do?
the closing of the polls.
Right. When are we going to do, when are we gonna get our budget forms? And
I
myself,
thought, Cheryl sent them out, but if not, it's probably next week or the following week.
okay, well, we are halfway through May and,
Yeah, we're getting our financial officer on board next week, so
okay.
that's gonna be
I
something.
think Darcy, is Darcy in there? I'm just gonna ask her real quick, but I thought Cheryl said she sent them out, but,
well, I know she was working on them.
yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
I haven't seen them.
Well, I mean, she hasn't been here the last 2 days.
Yeah,
too,
and she
so-
had the election and she's been
Yeah,
very busy,
She has
so.
been very busy, but, I know that she had everything printed out. Just, that's what she said at the department head meeting. She had it all printed out, and she was just getting them right and going over them, and I know that's what she's been working on.
So. Well, I'm just thinking, did she do a new form for the salaries? Because I'm gonna figure my salaries this year, although,
It should have been put in your inbox. Cheryl
Robert
had
has
the
come up with one.
hard copy. Yeah, and the labor sheet, I'll get that out Monday, guaranteed.
the salary thing.
Yep.
I might go about it two ways too. I'm gonna probably have my deputies give me copies of their paychecks for the last couple of months.
Yes.
And then I can look at what the state's pulling out, and I should be able to come out fairly close.
Shouldn't you be able to go into?
Well, actually, what this sheet will do, just so you know, it'll say, this is what they're making now, and then we're gonna have to have a plug figure for what we think the raise is gonna be.
12%, 15%.
Yeah, for you guys, but
Okay.
everybody else gets a negative. But, and
want
then,
that job.
the actual percent.
Well, no, this is, and so commissioners are aware of this. Last year, when we didn't know how the presidential election was gonna go, we were very conservative on the raises for fear that if they had went the other way, we might not be able to pay employees.
Because of the mine.
The mine shutting
revenue
down.
from the mine.
But because the election went the way we wanted the election to go, or at least some of us wanted the election to go that way, there's a very likelihood that the mine's gonna stay open. And that will continue the tax base that it provides for us. So we were very conservative last year, even though everybody and their brother was dealing with all the inflation. We were still, and so this year, we are, because we're fairly confident the mine's gonna be open for a while longer, we're going to take and probably see
We will consider that, I mean,
a larger raise than we got last year.
in the past, they've
Last-
got decent ones, 7,
Yeah.
8%,
But,
you know.
yeah.
I have absolutely no problem, and I'm speaking as the commander of the post. We have no problem making sure that they're paid properly.
Well, it's
Well-
one of those things that, and people, a lot of people don't know this. The sheriff's salary is based off the clerk and recorder's salary. We get exactly the same number, and then my deputies are paid a percentage of my salary.
Right.
So.
And do you know, his budget is like over $800,000. 70%
That's all.
of his, well, listen,
I'm just saying.
70% of their work is in this city.
Yeah.
Of that $800,000, the city pays the sheriff $100,000.
I can figure.
102,000.
Oh, 102
So,
out of
and
800.
I
You
did,
guys, you've been paying attention, that's excellent.
I did,
I've been paying attention.
I did send the mayor a couple of emails. I don't know if you saw the headline about Cascade in the town of Cascade in Cascade County having to figure out if they're gonna continue to co-op for law enforcement with the sheriff's office. Because there's been significant raises, and I pointed them out to the mayor.
Well, the city council decided, since the city's in the county, that they don't need a police force.
There, we'll find out very,
You know
very
why they
quick.
would need one? Because you're responsible to provide law enforcement
Yep,
because it's
well,
not county.
then let's call their insurance company and tell them that they don't have law enforcement coverage.
Okay.
And they don't have a.
We're just trying
they don't have a
to, we're just
contract
trying
with
to
law
stir
enforcement.
things up.
But the fact of the matter is, Cascade, when I did the numbers on it, cause they're paying 65,000 for 600, 700 people, it's $108 per person per year. Round up, 102,000 with over 22,000 people in town.
More than that.
It's
$22,000?
$48 per
Yeah,
person.
yeah, it's way lower than what everybody else
It's
is.
way
They don't have
lower.
any money. They don't have
Because it was an arbitrary figure that hasn't changed.
They don't have any money.
They don't have any money.
That's
So,
what
the fact of the matter is that yes, they're getting it. They have been and continue to get the best deal in the state of Montana for
Yeah.
law enforcement coverage.
And they don't appreciate it.
And they don't appreciate it.
I don't.
No, they're,
No, they don't.
and so, being as next year is my last year as sheriff, I figured that we should reevaluate the, I won't be trying to get any
You're gonna
votes.
recommend it be 200.
Well, I think that we need to,
Gotta balance it out is what you ought to
Come on.
do.
Well,
come up a little bit.
we know that, you know, we have this saying here, the success of the county is tied to the city, and the
Success of the
success of the city is tied to the county. So we make concessions.
I've seen more
Great if we
houses
can
built
work
in
together.
Roundup in the last 4 years than I saw in the first 16 years I was here.
Talking to some of the council members and the mayor, it's gonna be a battle.
It's going.
It's going to be a battle.
I honestly
But
think,
we're willing to
Yeah.
open the door and start
Yeah.
talking.
Let's do it next year.
you know, that way you can, you're not
Let's do it next year. Yeah. So we'll
134-2211.
stay the course. But all right, you got a second, sir? I want to talk to you real quick. And I appreciate you, gentlemen.
All right.
And tell Justin to get with me on that so we can get it ordered.
Side by side, just get it ordered. It's just assume you're gonna pay for it.
Just so you guys know, we're writing a formal letter
Stokes litter and
about Sean and Ben, a very positive one, because of what went on with the memorial I went to collect the placard that was disappeared that night after it came off the stone. The guy who had it refused to give it. I talked with Ben, I talked with Sean, the three of us worked together. When I went up there after the guy who had it stated, just have the commander come up here, I wanna talk to him. I said, okay, so I went up there. And his wife was really pissed when I knocked on the door, refused to give me the plaque. And I said, it's okay, I'll just have the sheriff come up and put bracelets on you for being in possession of stolen property. And I walked away. Just about that time, Ben was writing up the warrant, Sean was showing up across the street from the house. All of a sudden, he decided to deliver that thing. So, it took us 3 days to get to that point. But we did work very close together, myself, Ron Carson, and Gary Lee, with Sean and Ben. And I gotta tell you, man, you guys couldn't have hired, you couldn't have two better people that are dealing with law.
Well, we have seen a shift, you know, now law enforcement is working with the county attorney and vice versa. They're collaborating, they're working together, it's a
Very
very
close.
positive thing. It was the same way with Adam too, but.
Right, but not like it
It's,
is
you're starting
now.
to see the effect. It took a while, because before that one happened.
But I just want you to be aware, we're working on, the three organizations are working on a letter that we can send, one individually about Sean, one individually about Ben,
Okay.
and our gratitude, we're actually giving them certificates of appreciation, and we don't give those out.
Well, and I appreciate that because, you know what, they don't get a lot of them, so they don't.
Well,
That's
it's
good.
rare for the American Legion to okay a post to give out something like that. Because we're governed directly by Congress, we have to put it through the department, the state. When I say department, I mean, the state office for the American Legion is called a department. Then it goes from there to national, and then from national back to me.
Excellent.
And we got the okay finally a week ago to go ahead and do the certificates, and whatever else we wanted to do was okay. And they have a deputy that saved 2 toddlers' lives, one right after the other. And we're gonna give him, just so you guys understand that that's something we don't ever get involved with, is law enforcement of the year. And when I sent the information to department and national, they called me on the phone. The national commander wanted to be here if it was done in this 1 month, and we couldn't get it all together that quick, so we're gonna do it before he gets out of office. And we're actually gonna do it at the district conference in the fall. So, to make it, so people are aware that we're here, and that we are part of this community, and we do look for our law enforcement, the county attorney, everybody, we look towards everybody. You know, we're sending 6 of our own kids from this county to Girls and Boys Day. And we came up with that money, we asked certain people for donations, we don't do that. I went, okay, and we came up with the money in 5 minutes after that meeting. Somebody walked up and just wrote me a check and handed it to me, because they were upset, they went to Boys Day. So we're sending 6 of our own kids. There's only been 1 that's ever gone since I've been the commander.
Really?
And I'm like, no, that's gonna change.
It's excellent.
So-
It's excellent.
Anyway,
Boy,
thank you for the information, I'm keeping you
You
guys all
put us
tied
into
up.
quite a quandary here, because you're saying some really good things about some departments that we have under Muscle County and support.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna have to deal with that concept with other members of our county, of which we have 2 right here.
Mr. Kelly?
Yeah.
I'm Justin Russell.
Just coming to see you. Oh, God. I better see it. All right.
So,
I ain't saying nothing no more.
I understand you have a drone mission that you need done?
We really appreciate what you're doing. I know we highly support it. We really do.
Well, I just
We're just
want
trying to give these
We
guys
just
a
talk
hard
about
time.
I want to know
anybody
anything
who's
that you got the right people.
We're gonna have to
Pardon?
You got the right people.
Get her
Yes, we do.
name and address
We
and
do
Cheryl will
have
send
some.
it to her.
We hate,
We don't want them to get, we don't want them to get to feel like.
Earplugs are in.
We don't want them to feel too good about it.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
want their heads to swell if they have to
especially
turn
these,
sideways.
especially these,
Usually
these
that
two.
winds up in more money than
Yes.
we're against that.
But I just want you to know that what I just said,
That's actually.
we really, you have no idea when the guys found out he was involved and Sean got involved and we got the plaque back that day. That's the only reason they didn't go knock on this kid's door.
Yeah.
And did you ever try to handle 6 pit bulls on chains? You think you can walk down the sidewalk? No, you'll lose your souls and your shit. That's what these guys were like. They were mad.
You're talking about the
The
fellas?
vets.
They were gonna go,
Oh,
they were
yeah,
gonna
the
go get
vets,
that
oh,
plaque.
yeah.
Well, they were gonna do a little bit more than that, but I was just like, wait a minute, let's just let the prosecutor and the sheriff do their thing. I gave him my word that we would stand back. And as soon as he got involved and Sean pulled up to the house, that plaque came out the door. He didn't want to go to jail. So, yeah. I just want you guys to know you got the right people. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, well, good deal.
And you, I'm going down to your office now. I'm going to see if Justin's over there.
Well, that'd be me.
Oh, yeah.
So, I got a request in with the pilots to do that drone mission for the mapping of the cemeteries.
Right.
And get the aerial views for you. Once I know who in that, I'll have them get a hold of you and we'll get it taken care of here shortly.
Cool. We're just trying to figure out.
It's like $8,000 a picture though, right?
Ah, yeah.
I'll take you fishing for a week.
There we go. That's even better. The secret spot, right?
That's right.
$8,000 or fish.
I'll take the fish any day.
Take the fish any day.
Any day, man. It's good eating.
Because you gotta pay taxes on the $8,000, so.
I know, I'm a disabled vet.
Oh!
You make so much money now that you're having to pay a lot of tax.
Oh, God, dude. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Even with
So much
kids.
money.
Kinda like our county attorney.
You know,
You can buy lunch here.
what, 20% pay cut, man?
I'm not paying attention. What are you reading?
A fact pattern for a study out of the University of Alabama.
Oh, gosh.
I've been looking for that.
Are you educated or something, Ben?
Well, we're gonna see.
I just like the word fact pattern. I'm gonna use that in the whole conversation. So what's your
I
fact
hate to ask,
pattern?
what is a
for
fact
the
pattern?
What's your fact pattern
What's a
report?
fact pattern?
Well, my fact
Pattern
pattern,
of facts.
let's see.
Somebody got smacked in the head with a paper towel holder right now. That's all I know.
That's enough.
That's
Pretty intimidating,
That's part of it.
especially if paper towel's already on.
Okay.
All right,
Well, good morning, everyone.
we're having productive conversations.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So we consisted of getting a bunch of reports submitted. Just kind of DES. We did have a request submitted to Sarah. There's a group that's trying to look at possibly doing kind of in the park areas or where we have the buyouts, doing a skate park.
Yeah.
So a few things, the hurdles we're running into with that is by technicality, the way the FEMA has those deed restricted, we're not supposed to concrete or anything. It's all supposed to be either gravel or natural. But they're looking into seeing, because there is some leeway to where we might be able to do a below grade skate park.
Oh, really?
So potentially.
But isn't whatever they do, they have to like maybe do a hydraulic calc to show
Mhm.
that there's no impact or
Yep,
whatever?
and that's why they were thinking potentially doing a below grade.
That makes
And
just
this
as
would
much
be where?
sense.
Down there, probably like Delia's apartments where those were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Potentially,
really popular.
it would be, and it'd be a great use, but they'll get back to me and let me know whether that's something that we can or can't do. So,
Just before I lose the thought, okay?
yes,
We had a meeting with they called it the Roundup breach, but it had to do with feasibility studies for what's going on down there at the Bear Collins.
Okay.
This Jacob